Do, 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 do. Oh, we're here.
We're
Hi.
here.
Hey,
Hi.
everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. I have the new dress on. I do have clothes on, y'all. It's just the brown is camouflaging itself, and it's hot in here. It's because
Yeah. It's very, very hot. It is
Southern
very hot.
California. Like we don't
Mhm.
have your humidity, Kelsey, but gee whiz,
Yeah. We
warm.
had a cool day yesterday because of typhoon, and then as soon as the typhoon left, it was like heat wave is back.
Yeah, I don't envy. I don't
Yeah.
envy. We've talked about that. I don't. Anyway, y'all, welcome to Collard Greens and Sushi. She's
We
Kelsey.
are back.
I'm Melinda.
It's Melinda.
Good to see y'all.
Yes. We were just getting into some random conversation about Halloween because it's
Oh
right
my
around the
gosh,
corner.
it is, folks. You already know if you celebrate Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
you can't really dilly dally because when you do those last minute costumes, we all know. Um, we all
Unless
we
they're
all
good
know
ones.
that you waited to the last minute. But if you're gonna start on your costumes, you need to have that idea ready now in September, and then
Yep.
start to execute for October so you're ready. You
I
know.
think there's gonna be a lot of K-pop demon hunters
Oh yeah.
out there. A lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Shine like a butterfly. Yeah, I can't do it. That's high. Sorry, high.
so I think there's gonna be a lot of them. I think there's gonna be a lot of what else? Probably definitely K-pop demon hunters. What else is really big in the States?
You might see some more Squid Game because this was the
Mm.
last season of Squid Game, so you might see Squid Game. That was super popular. We tried to do Squid Game 2 years ago, when
Mm.
it first hit America, but costumes were sold out.
Yeah, I
Couldn't
can
get
believe
a
it.
tracksuit, couldn't get a
Hmm.
green tracksuit. So, um, that was what we really had wanted to be. But yeah, definitely K-pop Demon Hunters is definitely gonna be some leftover Squid Game. Um,
Not the leftover Squid Game, but yeah, I know.
leftover Squid
There might be
Game.
some Thanos. There might be some Thanos out there
Oh, that's
from
true.
Squid Game.
I forgot to play the lotto, y'all.
Oh no. It's like 1 billion or something. It's some
Yes,
crazy amount.
it's 1.7 billion.
I feel like
I forgot
nobody
to
will
play the
win.
lotto. I
And it
just
might
thought
roll
about
over.
it. Oh my gosh, Yui, what time is the cutoff? I think it's at 7 too. Look it up. Oh my gosh, y'all. Let me tell you, my daughter, my daughter is in her. For those of you who have children, you probably understand this. My daughter is in her. What do I want to say? She's in her very low effort stage where because I feel like Messiah kind of went through this too. Like when they get to middle school, it's
Hmm.
like their hormones are like meow 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 meow, and then like towards the end of the day they start to kind of come down.
Hmm.
So when I ask her something, normally with Messiah, huh? What time's the cutoff? Normally, like how I just said, oh, when's the cutoff? Messiah
Hmm.
would have looked it up. Like he's
Looked it
like,
up.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, the cutoff is da 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 da. I asked her what she said, y'all.
What did she
I don't
say?
know. She said, I don't know. Like,
Ask
that's
Google.
your cue to investigate and see. Let me see when the cutoff. I'm telling you, she's in her low effort.
Effort stage.
Yes. I mean, what? No, that's not telling me what the cutoff is. What?
And then that's just something.
Yeah. Oh, it's 1.8 billion.
Oh my
1.8
God. 1.8 billion is
billion.
insane.
Oh
I
wait,
wonder
no,
you have.
they're not drawing it today. They're drawing it tomorrow, so I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
Hey, yay! Thank you, Pooh.
Go run and get it
Yeah,
and play some good
I
numbers.
think Mega Million is tonight. I think Mega
Does
Million's on a Friday.
Does
Sorry,
that
y'all.
money go towards
This
the?
is not a pro gambling.
You
Not
gamble
a
with
pro
caution.
gambling podcast. I am not promoting gambling. I am just
But
saying this is informational only. I should have said
yeah,
that.
it's useful.
Informational
I
only.
mean, I feel like a lot of people who don't gamble would probably play for 1.8,
Yeah.
1.8,
1.8
1.18,
billion
8
dollars.
billion. But I mean, I don't even know how it works there. But I think
Yeah.
is it only in the state of California?
No,
Oh, so it's U.S.
everywhere. Everywhere. But
Ooh.
we tend to have a greater chance of winners, especially
Mm-hmm.
when it's high for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I mean, all I need is 2 million, y'all. I don't even need like a billion. Because I know
It's
like the
called. Is it
government's
called
gonna
the
take
Mega
that.
Millions? Is that what it's called?
I don't need 500 million, y'all. I just 2 million. Well, no, 10 million. No, I won't be greedy. 5 million. Okay.
I just messaged my parents to let them know.
Yeah,
Like,
this is not a
they're
pro gambling podcast. Again, I'm not advocating for. I just want to put that out there. Disclaimer: I am not advocating
we're
for
not advocating for
gambling.
that. I feel it. I feel
I'm
it. We don't.
just
The way
talking.
the lottery works here, I've never played it, but I know from other people who have played it is that I don't think the money goes to support anything positive. I think it just goes to the bank. Like it's managed by a bank. So I know that Mizuho Ginkgo is like the lottery goes through them somehow, I guess. I don't really know the logistics of it. So if anybody knows, feel free to comment and let me
What do
know,
you
educate
mean, like
me.
it doesn't go to anything? Like, so how we have to
It's
pay
not like
taxes?
I think you just if you people buy the tickets, people buy the lottery tickets, and then if they win, the bank pays them, and if they don't, the money just goes back into the lottery fund. Like it doesn't go towards
Right.
like in Georgia, it goes towards like the Hope Scholarship, and it helps people that need
Ah.
So
But
I've
I
never
mean,
really
that's
looked
only
into
a
it.
portion. Only a portion goes. Like
Yeah, but here it doesn't go
to
to
anything. Well, you
yeah.
know what? I mean, it does vary from state to state because I want to
Mm.
say California is a no tax on lottery. I believe,
Oh, so
or
if you
something.
win, you get to keep everything. Everything.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
And there's another state
that's
like
another reason to just move to California. I think except for y'all be
maybe
having
that's
like
why we have so many winners. Maybe they're rigging it. I don't know. I don't know. Again, this is not pro
yeah,
gambling,
we
y'all.
don't know.
We are not advocating. We're not advocating. We're just trying to keep ourselves informed. Anyway, Kelsey, what's going on, girl? What's going on with you?
I'm like here thinking California.
I know.
Let's say I did not know that about the
Yeah.
tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm so out of touch with anything, state wise, but I just do remember a lot of people that played the lottery in Georgia were like, "Oh, I'm supporting," because my grandmother used to play. My grandmother had like a bunch of numbers in a book. She had a dream book. You could look up here. She used to win. She used to win a lot. She never won like a major jackpot, but she used to
Yeah.
win like 50 or 100, every once in a while 300, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she went to this little tiny, like just kind of hole in the wall. It wasn't a gas station. I think it was just like a convenience store when she would come to visit us. And they
Yeah.
knew her and she would go in there and play her numbers religiously.
Mm-hmm.
And she was all about the lottery, so she knew how it worked, but no idea over here.
I
So don't
remember
forget
being
to play. Don't forget to play. And if you win, you don't need to tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, but just
nobody.
throw some
Tell
coins.
no
Yep, nobody.
tell no one.
No
Yeah,
one.
I even remember being younger. Like we used to have like a guy who used to run numbers. He used to be the number guy.
Yeah,
He would
yeah.
come by like my grandfather's shop, and like all the dudes would be like, playing the numbers,
Right, right.
like how it's box and then straight and then like all of that. Like I still don't understand. It's very confusing to me. Again, I'm not advocating for gambling in any type of way, you guys. I'm just, again, informing you of the things that I have been privy to see as a young, impressionable child in the 80s. I don't know.
That's funny. I think there's just so many things that have definitely changed since we were kids.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. That's one of them. But I do have memories of that. What were we talking? We were talking about Halloween. Yeah, so Halloween's coming up. So have your costumes ready. I
Yep.
was trying to think of. I know there's definitely going to be, like we said, a lot of K-pop Demon Hunters. Maybe some Squid Games. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna be. I had some ideas, but I don't know. But I'm very excited for Halloween. Cooler weather, fall. I'm so
And
ready to turn the air conditioning
it's
off.
on a
Yes.
Friday. Halloween is on a
Yes.
Friday.
It's on a Friday.
People are gonna take the whole weekend to turn up. You got, a
Yes.
couple of days to recover. So have your fun, y'all.
Facts.
I'm gonna be
Facts.
going to Sonoma. I'm actually gonna miss Halloween this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you working in Sonoma?
No, I am going on a wine tour and the wine train.
Oh, a
With
wine
my
train.
bestie. Yes, right now we're gonna have a good
Yeah.
time over the weekend in Sonoma, be fancy and be beautiful black ladies on a train. So
That sounds amazing.
yes, hopefully I'll have this hair done so this won't be here, y'all, because I'm sick of this puff. Look how it won't even fit in the camera, y'all. That's how big it is. Just it's got a life
Well,
of its
it's
own.
funny. We got a modeling offer. They're looking actually for someone with your hair, and I was like, my kids ain't got it. They were looking like the bigger the better for some sort of advertisement that they were doing here, and I was like, oh, I mean, we could tease it out, but it's not gonna be the
No.
voluminous fro that they were
Yeah,
looking for.
not your babies. My babies
No.
might be able to pull something like just
Yeah.
not the volume. The volume will come for sure.
I immediately I thought like, oh, Messiah knew you could do this. They were looking for like two kids. It didn't really matter, if they were brother or sister, 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 or whatever, and just with that kind of hair for some sort of ad. And I was like, I'll send them the pictures I had, and they were like, oh, thanks, but I think maybe no.
I swear, I really need to just keep flying them back and forth to Japan because
Hmm.
um they really need to be doing modeling. But it's especially with Messiah with marching band because marching band is such a huge commitment. Um
Yeah,
and not even, you know what, even take away marching band, we're starting to really like lock in his high school path.
I know, it's
Because
crazy.
my son's objective, he wants to go to college. Everybody has different paths for Messiah. Messiah wants to go to college. Messiah has
Yeah.
specific schools that he wants to go to. He has a specific major that he wants to focus on. So it's so wild being on that journey with him right now because I feel like I didn't do a bunch of the stuff that like he's doing. Like,
Mm.
he's taking the PSAT. He's probably gonna end up taking the SAT early.
I feel like you
He
probably did the PSAT. Did you do
huh?
not do PS? Did you do the PSAT? I did the
Not yet.
PSAT.
He's taking it in October. So the end of October, he takes the
Hmm.
PSAT. Um, like I said, he's probably gonna end up taking the SAT early.
Yeah.
He's starting to do the whole, okay, let me get my stuff together as far as make sure I have my extracurriculars. How can I stand out for these particular schools? Because, he's got a few schools on, his list where it's like, yeah, you've got the good grades. That's awesome. You've got the GPA. That's great and all, but they
Right.
want to see you stand out. So he's like, okay, look, what am I going to do to start standing out?
Hmm.
What should I start thinking about as far as like my personal statement when I start to apply for
Oh
colleges? Like,
yeah.
looking into doing college tours next year because like it's so wild, Kelsey, like how very intricate this journey is, and
Mm-hmm.
like I said, as a parent, I feel like, I don't want to say that my grandparents were hands off, but they were kind of hands off. I feel like they were.
You're like,
The
but they were.
90s.
That's the truth.
They were hands off. Like they weren't coming to school with me to sit down with my counselor and be like, okay, these are the schools he wants. Where what do we need to do to get him there? Like
Yeah, I
they
think it was a
weren't
different
as
time, probably.
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't as involved. But sometimes I feel like parents are like that now. That's something that I'm
Oh,
constantly talking to, especially my younger parents. Like I talk to them all the time. Like you gotta get involved. You have to
yeah, you
know,
definitely need to know.
right? You
I mean,
have
there's
to
some
know.
parents that don't know their kids' friends, their names,
That
And I
part,
I know them, but I get them confused with the exception of a few because in
right?
Japan a lot of the names sound similar. We got
Oh,
a
I
bunch of
make. I mean,
Yukis and
Yui and Masai can tell you. I make little nicknames for the like. I can't ever like. I'm
yes,
bad with names, but I
same. I'd
will.
be like the
I will
basketball
make
girl.
up
Yep,
a nickname. Yui
yep,
will tell you all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, that's sassy pants, and
yes,
oh that's
yes,
redheaded Asian, and oh that's they all got little like so I
yes.
can remember. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
their
Same,
name,
same. Because I
but
now
it's
ask
like
me their real name, I won't be able to tell you
won't
that, but
know,
I can
won't
tell
know
you,
at
yeah,
all.
the nickname
Or
for
they
sure.
all got the same name. Like
Yeah,
Yui's got like 3 kids in her class named Henry, and I was like, how the hell you tell them all apart? Like, you know, it's
they
just so
have to have their
wild. But I'm
nicknames.
like, you
Yeah.
gotta get as a parent, you've got to make the effort, to
Hmm.
get involved. You can't rely on the teachers. You can't rely on the
No,
school. And that's my
because
thing. I find that
yeah.
there are some parents who are extremely hands off, don't know what the hell is going on, or
Hmm.
you have the parents
Too
that want
involved.
to involve, want to control everything, and I'm like, it's not
Yeah.
about controlling, and that's why I said you need to get involved. You need to be informed. There's a difference between being informed and being controlling. You don't
Right.
control the classroom. That's not your
Right.
place. Know your lane, know your place.
Hmm.
But at the end
There's a
of the
lot of that.
day, if your child needs advocacy, that's when you step in. When your child has done all that they need to do and they need your assistance, then yes, you advocate. But I find like there's these parents that just want, they want to run a classroom, or they have unrealistic expectations of their child.
Oh wow.
Thinking that their child is an A+ student and this and that, and their child is not. And
Mm.
then they want to go and blame the teacher, or they want to blame the school system. And don't get me wrong, it's like, yeah, everything can have some kind of improvement, but most of the time, it's your child. As a
Yeah,
former teacher, it's your child, or it's
that's
you,
true.
or it's a
Or you,
combination of
or you.
you and your child. Why I don't teach no more? It's
Yeah, it
one of
is definitely that is definitely true. It will be you or your child or a combination of both. And unfortunately,
yeah.
like I just feel like teachers aren't really paid enough. They're not given enough resources. They're not getting enough support. Especially in the States. Like here it's a totally different game. But I just feel like you can't expect them to handle, I don't know how many students they have in a classroom, but I'm guessing like more than 20. You can't expect them to be able to give a lot of individual attention to each and every student as they embark on their journey for like college applications. Or and then I don't know how many school academic counselors you guys have. If there's only like one, like in my kid's school, how you
Mhm.
got one for like
Oh no, I think there's four.
600 kids,
Right.
you know?
I was gonna say there's four. There's 552
Yes,
kids
that's what
in
I'm
Messiah's class,
saying.
just in his
And
class, not
yes,
the
that's what I'm saying.
school.
The
In the
school.
class,
So
there's
there's no
500.
way. Yeah,
There's
there's no way.
552 kids in the whole class,
That's
and you
crazy. So
times
that's like a
that.
small college in
So there's
itself.
what, 2,000 kids in that school, and only 4 counselors. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah, it's not possible. It's not
no,
possible. So
no.
you have to be on the side of, like you said, involvement and advocacy and everything, because otherwise who else gonna do it?
Right,
And there's
right.
a lot of, I think, great information out there, which is one of the really good things about social media is you can find a lot
Yeah.
of good information, a lot of good pointers and whatnot. But I imagine it's just getting crazy because you have to get everything lined up and planned, and
It
it's just
is. It
it'll be
is.
here before you know it.
It, which is why it's like, look, it's time to lock in, sir. Like, it's crazy because,
It's
like,
just so weird though, because I remember like little chunky Messiah, like it's so different from now. Like little baby chunky Messiah.
yeah,
It's so different. And it's like he's a totally different human,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
now. He's a totally different person, like talking about different stuff and different interests. But I mean, you just think about like the Yo Gabba Gabba days and just back in the day,
Aww,
like the old,
yeah,
like I have a picture in my mind of him, like at that time. It's just
he
different.
did.
Or like when Yui
That was
was
his
little
show.
and she was having her fit for her Shichigo-san. She was just breaking down and
Oh,
Kamakura like, it's so incredibly different to see them now,
yeah.
and they're like explaining, Riz, or they're talking about whatever, different things are popular, or, what music is hip and what they're going to be for. It's just very different. It seems like the time does really go by fast.
It
And I
does.
think, I get really nostalgic in the sense when I think back on that time when I was like so incredibly tired or sleep deprived or
Mm,
stressed. Those days went by super fast,
yeah,
super
yeah,
fast. And now we're looking at like colleges and what do you want to be and what are you
yeah,
thinking about pursuing, and your extracurriculars, and talking about serious topics and things like that.
yeah,
It's just it went by really fast.
yeah. I mean, what do I always say? I'm like, if anything will aid you, children will. Like, children will aid you. I think sometimes we get tunnel vision when it's our kids, but when
Hmm.
you look at other people's kids, you're like, wait a
Yes.
second. They're like, didn't you just have him? He's going to preschool? Like,
Yes.
oh my gosh,
Yes.
wait a second. I remember when you were, running around and dancing, like a little puppy, and now you're going to high school. It's like children age you. That's the only time, honestly, I feel old, Kelsey, when like I look at Shore. I look at
Mm.
Coral even. Like I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, gee whiz. I'm like, did she just have you? Did she
Yeah,
just
yeah, there's
pop
a
you
lot. So
out
I
like
definitely agree with
a
that. Yeah,
year
for
ago?
sure.
It
For other
is.
people's kids, for sure.
It's the
Yeah,
craziest
especially
thing.
especially when you look back on those memories, those specific memories, and you're like, that was just like a year ago. And
Go.
it really wasn't. It really wasn't. It was literally
Right.
like 5 years ago.
Right.
So it's crazy. But I'm excited for the next steps because, planning for college is a pretty cool time, going
It
through and like
is.
picking out. It's just a lot of excitement involved in that. And
Right.
then when you finally decide, okay, this is it, this is what I'm going for,
Right.
that's when, definitely you start to see like the personality come out and really
Mhm.
shine. Because
Yeah.
it's planning for your future. And college was
Right.
such a fun experience. So,
Right. And that's the thing. I think, like I said, I'm blessed that like I have children who are confident in who they are,
yeah.
and I'm really thankful for that for both, him and Yui. Like they're very
Mhm.
confident in who they are and they know who they are and they know for the most part
Like what
that
they like and what their
right what
interest.
they
Yeah.
like, what their interests are, and that's something I've always told them. I was like, you be whatever you want to be, but just make sure you can make some money off of it. Like
Mm.
figure out some kind of way. Do something you like. And if you do something you love, oh my gosh, you'll really be more passionate about it.
Right,
Like,
right.
so I'm like, as long as you can make money off of it, we're good. We're good. That's all I ask,
Yeah.
that you can make a living,
Yeah,
you
that's
you
true. So
can
you're
live
not
your
always
life doing
struggling.
something that you love. And like I said, for Messiah is very specific about. He's specific about the schools he wants to go to. He's specific about the major that he wants to major in. He knows what he
Mm.
wants to do. And again, in order for him to get from point A to point B, he knows that he's got to do these things in order to do to get to the goal
Yeah.
that he wants. He knows, like, no, I can't let my GPA slip below a certain average. He knows I can't have less than a B in a class. He knows, like, I have to make sure I'm doing other things and I'm in the community, and I'm like, he knows, like, because he wants to go to those schools. And
Right.
I'm like, if you're doing that, then you'll get into those schools that you want to go
Yeah,
to.
that's true. That's
So,
true. That's very true.
you know,
Interesting. Is it interesting?
make a path. Make a path. There's always, what do I always say? There's always a way.
There's
There's
always a
always
way.
a way.
Yes, for real.
It might not be the way you thought it was going to be. Might not turn out the way you wanted it to turn out,
But
but
there's always a way.
there's always a way. Always. So
That is very true. That is very true. It's very different for me because the way that they do things here is just very different and sometimes frustrating. But
why is it
I
so?
was
Explain, Kelsey. Why is it different?
well, I feel like, well, first of all, we don't have like an SAT or anything like that. We don't have they do have standardized testing to get into high schools and to get into college. And that really, I mean, some people, I guess in Tokyo, maybe they start to go hard early, but we're just in the first year of junior high school. So junior high school here is 3 years, and then high school is 3 years. So it's like the States, but it's just the years are split up.
Okay.
And right now they had the testing, and they had right before the summer break they had testing, and Shore actually did really well. I think I mentioned before, like, I don't really care about English because like, so
Right.
even in the teacher meeting, I was just like, she was like, you should be really proud, she has the highest. I feel like that don't mean nothing to
I
me.
was gonna say she better have the
Yeah, I was like, if she didn't, it would be some
there would be
trouble
a
in this
problem.
house. It would be a
Exactly.
problem. So the teacher was like, saying that when they have I guess like English lessons, she doesn't really speak up, but she doesn't really like to draw attention to herself.
I was gonna
But
say
she'll come back and she'll say that was dumb, or like, I don't know why they don't know how to say da 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 or whatever.
right.
But all the other scores were pretty good, except for two that I think, like, they weren't bad, but I just feel like the way I grew up is like you need to have all A's. 100% is an A,
Yeah.
an A. If it's a B, it's okay. But anything lower than that, what's going on with your life? Like,
I mean,
what you doing? Because you only
yeah,
have one job. It's
yeah,
not like you have to go sell lemonade after school. Your job is to go to school.
yeah. I mean,
So
you know my whole stance when it comes to grade, and I know there's some parents who are like, "Oh, that's too harsh. Why would you say that?" But yeah, no, my kids will tell you, Yui, what is a B? Thank you.
what did she say?
I don't know if you heard her. I asked her what a B is. She said it's an Asian F. Like, we do not,
I think it's
we don't, we
definitely,
don't
yeah,
like.
for the
I'm like,
Asians, for the
but
Asian side of the family. But I don't
I
know. I
think
think
so.
he
I
could
was
have been
like, y'all
I think he could have
Asians,
been a black
so
and a Mexican F too.
I'm going to. When I tell you I'm Tiger Mom, when it comes to their education, I very much am. I very not to an extent where, okay, today you have piano, tomorrow you have
Yeah, yeah,
soccer, Wednesday you have, like, I'm not that type of mother. But
yeah.
definitely when it comes to their academics, they will both tell you, like, yeah, my mom don't play. My mom is straight up
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm the
you
same.
bet not bring a B home. Like, they know, like, no, you
Yeah,
can't bring a B home.
I'm
Like,
definitely the same. And like you said, it's basically like you don't really have what is keeping you from getting a higher score. If you
right,
don't understand, let's get a tutor, let's break it down.
right,
But is it just you just didn't study or you don't care? Like,
right,
no. Mm-mm.
right,
And
right.
it's so harder to bring up a lower grade. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have if you have an A and it goes down because you had like a stressful term or you were sick or a lot of stuff you were going through, that's not as bad as if you start off with a bad grade and you got to pull it up, you
Right.
know?
'Cause you gotta
So,
push more. You gotta push.
yeah.
You know, like you really gotta push
So,
and cram. And yeah, it's true. It's like I know what my children's abilities are. So even though I'm,
right.
we joke and be like, yeah, don't bring home no B's. I can say that because my children have consistently, and I do mean consistently, brought home nothing but excellent grades. That's the pattern that they've had. They
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so of course it's like if your pattern had been this, then yeah, okay. I'm like
That
that's
makes
what we have,
sense.
this is what we work with. But that goes back to my point about parents not having the correct expectation for your child. It's like, yeah,
Hmm.
we all want the best for our kids, but you also know your child. Like I know what my
Right.
children are capable of. I know what they can do. I know they have proven it time and time and time again. So they know when I'm like, what the hell is this? You out of your mind? Have you
Yeah,
lost
yeah, yeah.
it?
I think
Like
that's true. Like, because I was in the teacher meeting and she was like, "You should be really impressed and proud," and I
you
was like, first,
should, Kelsey. You
yeah,
should.
no. So the lowest the grade that she had trouble or the class that it's not a class, but I guess a test because the test scores is what we were talking about was home economics. And when I saw what they had to study, I was like, I don't know some of this. So there was a test where they had to, I guess, know the laundry symbols. So you
Yeah.
know how when you look in your clothing, it
Yeah.
tells you like this is tumble dry,
This
this
is
is do
tumble
not.
dry. This is air dry. No
Aside from
iron.
tumble dry, air dry, and hand wash, I don't know
Yep.
none of them. Do you know? I don't know none of them. I don't know none of them. You know, like I'm just like I'm just like I don't know. I don't know what these are. You know, so I kind of got what she was referring to in that sense
That's
because Short
wild
was just like,
though.
"What do we need this for?" But I'm like, yes, you do kind of need this, but not really.
Right.
It
Right.
won't make or break your life because I'm sure
No.
you could just look it up on the internet.
I
But
was
I'm
just
like, it's
that.
on the test, so you need to know. But another thing that she's not particularly interested in, which is shocking to me, is she's not really interested in like history. And history is like was what
Uh-uh.
my favorite subject. And Short just said it's not really
Yui's
interesting.
not
She's like,
interested. But you know what? Yui's not interested in
she's not
history
interested.
either. I
Short
think
just says a bunch of
that's just me.
wars. Just
Huh?
people fighting each other.
She says she only likes history because of her teacher. But so Messiah's the opposite. Messiah loves his he
Me
lo-
too.
he loves history. She doesn't. So I think it just
Hmm.
really depends. That's definitely a personal preference kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
So
kind
that's
of
the subject we have to kind of,
work on.
push. But it wasn't bad. It was really, there were really good scores. But I'm like, okay, you got to maintain this.
So wait,
Um,
she has to take a test for junior high school and then she has to take another test for high school?
No, okay, so junior high school test, you don't have to test to get in unless you go to a private school, which we
Okay.
didn't choose. But junior high school, the testing is like, I think this one was the national test or the prefectural for the state
Okay.
testing.
Okay.
They test them like assessment test, and then I
Okay.
think they'll have that twice more. The teacher explained the system to me, which was really good. So, but I just feel like they don't give them any homework, which I
Okay.
was surprised with because I remember, but I went to Catholic school, so maybe that's why. We had so much
Right.
homework, and even in high school we had so much homework, and there were people who didn't do it and they just didn't care. Not in elementary and junior high school, but in high school I remember, and they would get in trouble. So it's very different here. There's no homework unless
Okay.
there's a project or something. And I
Right.
asked the teacher, like, what is the reinforcement of, how do you reinforce it? And she's just
Right.
like, they just go over their notes. So if you don't take good notes, you will
Mm.
kind of be screwed. Fortunately, she takes really good notes.
So,
Um,
what does it change for high school?
I
Like,
think it
or
will change for high school, but in junior high school, there's no homework.
okay, Okay. So,
So it's
because I
just
was
different.
gonna say most of Yui's classes, I feel like the only consistent class she actually has homework like every day in is
Hmm.
math. She
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
have homework any other time, and they do say that like on the syllabus. Do they give you a syllabus for?
Yeah, so
Okay.
they don't give us a syllabus for like every single week or every single month, but they will tell you before the test. They did give a comprehensive list of what the test was going to be on, what pages, which was
Mm.
really useful. Someone just didn't study until the week before.
Well, I mean, do they give you a syllabus of all of the subjects? Like,
Yeah,
um,
you know, like what subjects are gonna be what
right.
they're gonna study, but you don't know like what chapters or
Oh,
how far they'll get.
not just for the test, but I mean like
Hmm.
for the actual like classwork. Like, so for Messiah and
No,
Yui, they both get a syllabus. Well, we're given a syllabus the beginning of the year. Basically, like I think I still got hit one of his. Oh, oh, it just
I
fell on
think
the
they
ground.
tell you.
Anyway,
So what I do have,
yeah.
they do tell you like the subjects, and every week or they have the list of like what classes they'll have. But
Mhm.
I think maybe they may give her like a weekly syllabus, but we did not get anything in the beginning of
Okay.
the year.
We
So,
get we get it for it. It's an overview for the whole year, almost like
mhm,
college. You know how like they'll give you the college
yeah.
description. That's what they both get. So I got one for every class for her. I got one for every class for him because we have to sign it. We have to be like, we've read it. We understand. Basically, the teacher's like, look, this is what the class entails. This is how
Hmm.
you like with Messiah's. Like it breaks down even how the grades are given. Like your
Oh, okay.
finals only
So
20%.
we do have that.
Your class rotation is this. This is
Hmm.
how I break down the grading. No late work is accepted. This is
Yeah.
an overview of the year. This is how, like,
Yeah, we did get some of that information,
okay,
especially like the grading rubric and all that
okay,
stuff. We did get that. But I think it's, there's a lot, it's good in the sense that a lot of the focus is put on students. Like, you need to take notes, you need to be present, you need to be involved and aware
yeah,
of what's going on in class.
yeah.
Because I think if you don't, then you would really be screwed. Like, you would. So maybe that's why a lot of kids go to Juku every day, which I think is a bit excessive. They go on the weekends, they go, all summer. There's a lot of kids that are in Juku, but maybe they have their goals set on a really high school, a
I was
really,
gonna say,
top school.
like,
I don't
because
know.
once I guess once you have that goal of, because all schools aren't equal.
No.
So if you've got that top competitiveness, so for them, the requirements are a lot more rigorous, obviously.
Yeah.
Like because they
Yeah.
only want the best of the best.
So I don't know in the States because, I'm coming from Georgia, so it was different. And then private school versus public school, it's different as well. But I remember we studied so hard to get into a certain private school for high school or for junior high school, depending on like whatever grade your elementary went up to. And then that school kind of, you still had to study and do well, but that school's name kind of carried you
Right,
into whatever college you wanted to go
right,
to, plus your SATs and your
right.
essay or whatever. Whereas here, I guess people really study hard to get into a certain high school. People will still talk, like they'll be grown adults being like, I went to so and so high school. And I'm like, who cares? But here, apparently, like your high school is still, the name is still really important.
So the high
Whereas
school
in the
has
States,
more weight
you
than
can,
college does.
I don't know if it has more weight, but it's just like people will be like, oh yeah, I know that school or I know that school. And I don't know. I feel like in the States, you could go to a really crappy high school, get into a
Yeah,
good college or a decent
college,
college,
right,
and nobody care.
right, right.
Nobody in college is going to be like, oh, you went to
So
ABC
and
high
so high
school.
school, right,
Yeah,
right,
nobody cares.
right.
Whereas here, I feel like people still care. And maybe it's because it makes it easier, depending on your high school, for you to get into college. In the States, like my experience, you could do really bad your whole freshman, sophomore year, pull your stuff up junior high school year, junior, senior year, still get into a good school,
Right.
still get into a pretty decent high school, I mean, a pretty decent college or
Right.
university. Whereas here, it's like you got to be on it from the start, or
So.
else you may not get into the high school that you want, and then that may screw you over for college. And I had a mom explain it to me that, like, you can only apply to two schools in Japan for high school. So it's different.
Oh.
In the States, you can go to whatever school is in your neighborhood, your local high school.
Right.
You have a guarantee for it. But here it's like you have to take a test and apply. So a public school is what some people pick, and then a private school. And private school is kind of like, either there's like, I guess, two types. One is like a really, 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 really prestigious private school, or
Okay.
one is like you couldn't get into a public school, so your parents got to pay, and you go into this other private school because you not. So
Ah.
yeah, there's it's a just totally different system, and I'm still learning about it. I'm glad that we are in Yokohama and not in Tokyo, because it seems like in Tokyo is cutthroat. I've heard from like one mom that I knew, her
Mm.
daughter ended up having to go to a totally different high school in a different, like in a different prefecture, because the school that she initially got into, that she thought was going to be so good, the environment, like the education was great, but the environment was so rigorous and cutthroat. It was, she said it was like Mean Girls,
Mm.
but educated Mean Girls, and a lot of bullying and stuff like that. And then her kid was looking at, or had went to an international school, and she even said like the international school had kids that were like smoking and drinking and having sex after school and stuff like that, which, I mean, kids probably do anyways, but
Don't do that.
she was
Do
so shocked
that.
that it was happening like first year of
Right.
high school, like,
Right.
and this is supposed to be the school for the elite, upper crust kids. And I'm like,
Right.
well, we watch a lot of K-dramas in this
I
house,
was
so we
gonna say
we
they
gotta
be
know what to
having some
expect.
drama, honestly. Like they do. They
She
have the
was so
most drama.
shocked.
But
Yeah,
I
I was like,
find
well,
that
that's what rich kids do.
but I find that interesting because obviously here, at least here in the South, maybe even also like in Europe as well. It's like, your college kind of dictates things, and it's like that's why people go to
Right.
Ivy League schools, because at the end of the day, you just from you saying, "Oh, I went to Harvard,"
Yeah, yeah. Or
it,
even like a Big Ten, a top 10 school. Like you could say, I
right,
went to Ohio State. People are like, oh,
right.
okay. But
People are
if I
gonna
say
say,
like my small college, people are like, where's that? People in Georgia would know.
right, right,
But outside of there, people are like, okay.
right.
It's very different here. So that's why I said, like, nobody cares what high school you went to. Did you
Mm,
graduate high school? Okay. And then you went to college. Where did you go to college? If
college,
your name,
right.
your college or university name carries weight, then people be like, oh, yeah, I get it. Like they went to
Mhm.
Yale, or they went to Columbia, or, Penn State
Right,
or something,
right, right.
because
And
people
not
say those names
not
and
to
you're like,
mention the connections alone,
right,
like Boo Boo's looking at a couple of Ivy League schools. But really it comes down to knowing that, the connection and the name. Like just to be
right,
like,
right.
yeah, I went to Yale, or yeah, I went to Stanford. And oh,
Hmm.
I know, so blah blah blah. I was in blah blah blah. Oh, well, let me introduce you to.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly. It's like that. I think it's such a different environment here,
Mm,
and we're still at the stage where like she doesn't really know what she wants to do. She has a
yeah,
bunch of ideas, but it's
and
funny because
she's
she was
only
like,
in junior high school too. On top of it, it's like she's got.
right, right. She's like, the robots may take over, AI may take over all the jobs. So
I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
so
So
I
what
I think it's gonna be
happens,
interesting to see what happens. Yeah.
maybe she can create a part in the robots that only she can create. But then again,
Yeah, I think so.
they would probably learn how to do that. And
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
we're gonna
I think so. We have that where, and then Coral is just like, she has no
Coral
clue.
is a
Coral,
baby. She
Coral
well
is
not a
just,
baby, but she's 6. It's like, girl,
yeah. She's
You
like
know,
still living her
as
best
long
life.
as she wiping her butt right, that's all that matters at this point. Like she not biting nobody. She can speak. Like so, we good. You know,
Yeah.
she got a whole lot of time.
But
Worry about
also,
it. You know.
I also said, you can go to school and study something that you think that you want to do and get to school and find and, feel that is not what I want to
That's
do.
not what you want to
Like
do. Yeah.
totally change your
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Totally be like, oh no, I am not going that way. I know
Yeah.
myself and other people that did that and experienced that. And then you can finish school and be like, you know what, maybe I should have studied that instead because that
Mhm.
would have paid off more.
You know what?
Um,
I think I never wanted to change my English degree, but
mhm.
definitely becoming a teacher. Um, and I'm all about the no regrets kind of thing. But if I could go back, would I be a teacher? Probably not.
Hmm.
I probably would not have been a teacher. I probably would have been something similar to you and done like journalism.
Yeah, but
Start.
let me tell you, it is a it is a dark, dark world out there. In the world of journalism.
But you
So
know
yeah,
what I would
no.
have done? I would have wanted to start like my own magazine. Like
Mm,
that's something I would have wanted to do. Like, um and more like a lifestyle magazine or another like parenting magazine. Like I would have
yeah.
wanted to do something like that. Cuz
But even even
I'm
as
no
time
girl. I'm
passed,
no Connie Chung. I am not
things
Anderson
change.
Cooper. I am not trying to be on the ground talking about we're in Bosnia right now.
No,
No, child, no.
I was never interested in that. I was always interested in the human side, the human aspect of the
Ah,
story. And so I still do like stuff like that. Like that makes me very happy to see, stories like that. And then I will say, like, once you meet other journalists and you see how they are, it can change your opinion or it can mold your opinion even more. So I was very lucky to have met Katie Couric in New Orleans,
mm,
and she was literally exactly how she is on TV. She was just as genuine and honest and just down to earth. And so that kind of solidified, like, oh yeah, this is the right. And I
right,
met her in such a random place. It wasn't at like a convention or she was giving
right.
a speech. That solidified it. I also think like I was also interested in like the literature side, the literature aspect of things, people that were doing human stories,
Right.
like Anthony Bourdain, or just people that were out there and learning about different cultures. So I don't regret that, but I would say it is after doing that as a career
Yeah.
for uh just the government is not, no, no, not for me, not for me, it's not for me, it's not. And you see the reality of how people truly are when something major happens like a war or a pandemic. You realize like how, I don't want to, how can I say, disingenuous,
Mm,
selfish, and dishonest people can be. Not always, but you can definitely see the dark side of stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not the life for me. I'm here for the delicious food, the nice wine, the pretty pictures, the human stories, the
right.
happy endings,
The feel
the
good.
feel goods. Like I don't need to, yeah, no, I don't need to push out lies and misinformation to support
Aw.
anybody. But I would say if I could go back, I definitely would have gotten a law degree. Definitely. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna do it now, but I
Yeah.
definitely would have gotten a law degree. I have a family member who is a lawyer, and she's such an inspirational person. I think it's so interesting. Even if you're just doing like, I don't know, personal injury law or whatever. I
Right.
just think the amount of just energy and just confidence and personal just, gumption, just everything behind it to go to law school, to study, to pass the bar exam. I'm really in awe of people like that. So I probably, if I could do it over, I probably would have went and gotten a
And you
law
know what's
degree.
wild? Because I literally my senior year in college which was a mad dash at Morris Brown. But
It was the same.
but
But you were
I
trying to get out of there, right?
girl, yes,
Same. I
yes.
think everyone, I was like, I can't wait to get out of here and start my real life. And now I'm
Um,
like, oh, I wish I could go back and have somebody else
yeah.
pay for everything.
But that was something I was considering. I was literally
Hmm.
considering starting a master's program in law, like going to
Yeah.
Clark and literally starting my law journey, like because that's such an excellent transition going from an English degree to a law degree. It
Yeah.
really, really is, and so beneficial in so many ways. Um, but God told me to go to Japan, so that's what I did.
Right? And no regrets there. Yay.
No, no regrets at all.
No,
At
we have to do, I
all.
guess we have to do a throwback Japan
We
podcast and talk about the
do.
old days.
The old.
No regrets. I'm so glad that I came here. Um, but it was definitely not not in the plans, not
Nope,
initially
not at
written in
all.
the books.
It
Not
was
at
not
all.
officially no, no,
And then
no,
when people
not
come
at all.
now, I think I think we're both so used to certain stuff. So when people come and they're like, "Oh my god, did you see that or this?" I'm just like, "Oh yeah, that's yeah, that is yeah, they do have
I'm
that."
just, I mean, y'all know, y'all have watched me. I'm just constantly comparing it to the cesspool that I live in. Don't get me wrong, California, LA, all day. West Coast is the best coast. Um, but yeah, I'm constantly like, this would never happen in Japan. Oh my god, well, like you just so damn loud. I'm never going to a convenience store here. This is beneath me. This is not Tokyo. That's what I'm constantly doing. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I
that
definitely see that. I mean, no
that
regrets, no regrets whatsoever. But I yeah, I guess we have to talk about that next time because it's just like so many things that people tell me, like family and friends that come and visit, and I'm like, I guess I
because
kind of forget. Oh yeah, that's how that is. That's how that
because
is there.
you see it every day, Kelsey. So it's not new
Hmm.
for you. Like even
I
me
guess
living
so.
there for as long as I lived there, because it's been longer that I haven't lived there, and then going back, it's just like, oh my gosh, everything's new. Like I'm spinning around like a Disney princess, I'm like, oh my gosh. Little birds are coming down. I'm like, I'm back in Japan. I'm doing that because I haven't had it. I haven't had it in years. This time
Yeah.
it was nice because it was months between trips, but
Hmm.
even months between trips, like me and the kids were both like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to get back to Japan! Oh my god, I can't wait, can't wait!" It was like put it in my veins. All three of us were just like, can't wait to get back to Japan. I think the
I think
only
that's how I feel though about the
yeah
states is that like there's certain things that I miss.
miss.
And I definitely want to see like family and friends because I feel like you don't really get to see them the things that they go through, the little graduations, little events, weddings and stuff. Like you have to plan to come back for that, but there's a
Right.
lot of stuff that you miss out on from being
Uh,
so far
yeah.
away. And there's so many, just getting back to the topic of school, like there's so many cool things that they have in America they don't have here, like prom,
Mm, you
homecoming,
did talk
you
about
know,
yeah.
all that stuff. I'm just like, oh, you don't know what it's like to see your school's like marching band go out there and like just, it's just a feeling like the Friday night lights. It's just so much that I wish that they could introduce here. I think it would help with society. Like if there was like a prom or a homecoming or something like that, that'd probably help people be able to talk to people better because they obviously can't. I love seeing that kind of stuff. Or just like the school events that they have, fundraisers. We were talking about the Scholastic Book Fair,
Oh,
like how
we've
you
got
would walk up in the book fair with the
she's got it
money.
next week. Literally, she
They would
has
send
book
the
fair
flyer
next.
and you'd be looking at it
Yep,
and just, oh, I want to get this, I want to get that, I want to get
yep.
this. And you knew like whose parents had money because they didn't care what the books cost. Like they were just
Yep.
like all of them. And and it's all about books, but I was talking with another person that I work with about how like I learned how to read basically from Pizza Hut because we had the book it,
We had to, yep,
I'm
you had to
reading
read
books to
the
get my
personal
free
pan
personal pan
pizza.
pizza,
Yep.
like stuff like that. So I miss all that stuff that they have in the States. Like even when we went back, just different events that they would have for kids and stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do here, and there's a lot of great things for kids in Japan as well.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the Japanese school system has a lot of great things. They do have school festivals and sports festivals and things like that, but it's just very different. It's just different.
Yeah. I get it.
I miss that kind of stuff.
I get it.
So
Sadly, we don't have, they don't encourage you to read anymore, Kelsey, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. Pizza
no,
Hut is gone away with
with
the
the book it.
personal pan pizzas.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah,
That's so
I mean,
sad.
it is. There's definitely, sadly, it is an attack on education right now. Like it
Mm.
really is. But
But if
again,
you educate at home, you will
yeah,
never have to.
I
You'll
was
still have
gonna
to worry,
say,
but you'll never be ignorant if you learn on your own, if you do it
yeah.
on your own as well. You'll never be ignorant. So I don't know, for our Okazu, I didn't really have anything, but I know the weather is still hot there. It is still hot here.
Yep.
So, how are we gonna cope with this heat? What remedies do you have? I mean, I see
Girl,
you
I'm
have the
about
tank
to
top
walk
on.
outside naked in a little bit. Like I'm just gonna be walking. They be like, oh, that crazy black lady with them kids. She just was
No,
naked walking down the street, just titties flopping. I'm like, I'm hot. I don't know what to tell you. I'm
I'm not
hot.
not making fun of not making fun of or making light of anyone's mental
Absolutely not.
mental health journey or breakdown whatsoever, because it is very
Absolutely,
real. But
absolutely not.
I saw a video of Little Nas X and that he was walking naked in, I think, in California or something.
Yeah.
And I said maybe he's hot. He might be
You know what?
hot.
Honestly, I thought he was like filming a video. I didn't know what
I
was going
that's
on.
the first thing that I
That's
thought. I said this is a
literally what I thought.
show.
I was like, oh, he's shooting a video.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't know
thought he
what
was
was
shooting.
happening
Me either.
until it came up that I guess he had like a
A
breakdown.
breakdown. Yeah, yeah.
So
And
I was
I hope
like,
he recovers.
yeah. I was
Because
just like,
I do like him, but first I thought he's filming something or he's doing something, and then I said, well, maybe it's really hot. I don't want to be wearing clothes either.
yeah,
I've been going out with just like this tank dress on. Legs might be shaved, they might not be.
who
I don't
cares?
really care. I don't really care because
It
it
don't
is
matter.
so hot.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sweat from the humidity is just running down your legs, so it really don't matter anyway. Yeah, again, I've
So
talked about the humidity. I've talked about
yes,
you don't want to play with that Japan heat.
it is just
That
so hot, and so it's
yeah,
like the nights are getting the sun is setting earlier, but the
yeah.
heat
I
is
was
still
saying that to
still there.
Yui, and she was just like, I'm like, Yui's going through her emo phase. Not only is it low effort, but she's literally going through her emo phase. Listen to freaking Tokyo Hotel every day.
Oh, you're talking. I will never
Whatever,
forget
Bill
Tokyo
Collins,
Hotel.
whatever, and then the other twin that's married to Heidi Klum, and then the one that's an accountant, and I don't know the other one. He's just there. Like, I don't know. She's just so emo. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, the sun. I was like, we're not gonna have any more sunsets,
Hmm.
past 8 p.m. And she was just like, I was like, such a freaking Debbie Downer, Yui. Geez, at 11? We're doing this already?
Well, yeah, yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
She's so emo, girl. She just going, you know what? But Boo Boo went through his emo stage too. I'm glad he's out of it. So I'm praying that she'll get out of it. She
Soon,
probably
hopefully
won't.
soon.
She probably won't. Now I think about it. Like, she's just probably gonna be emo, side eyeing
Not
just
forever.
forever.
Well, how are you keeping cool? I guess we I haven't turned the air off because
Yeah,
I just can't.
I feel
What
like
do you?
my
I mean,
it's
when you
gonna
guys,
break down because I feel like it's not even helping anymore. I'm about to open a window. Although you know what, it is supposed to cool off. I think by Monday. By Monday, we're supposed to get
Mhm.
down into like that. Right now, it's in the low 90s. We're supposed to get down to the 80s, and then it's gonna get down to the high 70s, which is beautiful. Which is,
Yes, that's one thing that's great about
oh my
California
god.
is when you do have that good weather, it is nice. It
Oh,
is nice.
perfect. Perfect.
California.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
definitely, definitely. And that the only you need a sweatshirt at night or like a hoodie at night if you're
Right.
out and about.
Right.
I love that about California, the weather
Right.
for
We do.
sure.
We have very cool, like nighttime is cool, which I love because literally I just leave the windows open. Like my bedroom windows, just be open. Um, it's lovely. I love it. I love it. You
Mm.
can't beat California weather. Y'all might talk shit, but you can't beat that California weather. You can't beat
There's
it,
a lot of good
y'all.
stuff in California. For sure, for sure. Well, this is the end of our episode, you guys. It's been collard greens and sushi. Until next time, we
Till
will
next time,
see
y'all.
ya.
Follow your dreams, y'all. Follow your dreams.
Yes.
Bye.